Yo, what is up? We are back with part 2 on crew skills and crew training. These are going to be the basic skills. Now I'm going to run through what I ran through yesterday with the heavy tanks, covering the main skills and the secondary skills. So if you want to skip this part, I'm going to provide a link below, and you can skip the intro on what these skills are and move on to the next part of this video. So for those of you who are here for the first time, please remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications if you are here for the first time, especially if you are here for the mod pack videos. I provide a video that gives you an update. If you have the notifications turned on, please give a like to the video if you enjoyed the content and if you found that it helped you a little bit. So let's start with the where we left off yesterday. Yesterday we talked about heavy tanks. Today we're going to talk about medium tanks and the main skills. These are the main qualifications of those skills of your crew. This is 115%, 127%. They normally start up with a free crew. You will get 50% skills. This is your main skill. If you paid 20,000 credits for a new crew, you get about 75% skill, 75% trained skill. And if you paid gold for your crew, you get 100% trained skill with your first skill ready to be trained up. So let's go. This is your secondary skill, main skill and secondary skills here. Secondary skills, as you can see, there's a lot of them. You can train them anyhow you want to. And this is removable equipment, but this is what skills look like. These are your main skills. Your secondary skills, your secondary skills here. They're divided to two parts: your skills that are trainable and immediately effective. If you train repair in your crew, immediately your crew will improve with its repair skills, and as you play the tank and you gain more experience, this repair skill becomes better and better, becomes more pronounced, and this is the main skill. The other kind of skill is called perks. Now, perks only work when the skill itself is trained 100%. Now, you don't need to think too much about perks. The only two perks that you need immediately is Sixth Sense for your commander. You need to train it up immediately because you can't play this game without Sixth Sense. The other perk that is very important for your crew is Brothers in Arms. But Brothers in Arms does not work for just one of your crew. You need to train them in all your crew simultaneously, and they all need to be 100% trained before they go into effect. So remember that you can't train Brothers in Arms like different times of your crew. For example, if your commander if you train your crew with Brothers in Arms, you need to train them all together with Brothers in Arms. You can't stagger them. Like, for example, your commander, you have Brothers in Arms as your first skill, but your loader, let's say, you leave it until later in your career and you train Brothers in Arms. That doesn't work because none of your crew will you will not benefit from the Brothers in Arms perk if they are not all of them 100% at the same time, if that makes sense to you. So that's what you need to know about. About skills and perks in this game. So remember that when you are training your skills. Now, the most important skills when you start off training your first skills in your crew is going to be a combination of repair skills and gun handling skills. For your commander, obviously you're going to train immediately is your Sixth Sense. For the rest of your crew, your gunner, you might want to train Snapshot as your first skill, or repair, a combination of these two. For your driver, you might want to pick Smooth Ride to improve his gun handling skills, or repairs. It depends on it's up to you, because both are just as important. Medium tanks, they're required to fight in the front, so you need these repair skills for when your tank gets tracked. So it's a combination of gun handling skills and repair skills as your first skills. For your loader as well, you can either pick out repairs or situational awareness. Situational awareness is important because you need vision. This game is all about vision, so you need to think about either you want to pick situational awareness or repairs. Alternatively, you could also use your crew books. You could buy crew skills for 2 million credits. You could buy 250,000 experience for all your 4 crew. If you have a lot of credits like I do, you could do that and train your skills up to 3 skills immediately if you bought like maybe 2 or 3 books for 6 million bucks, 6 million credits or something like that. But if you don't and you want to train them the traditional way, go up the traditional path, you can do that as well. But remember, you want to have your first and second skills a combination of gun handling skills and repair skills. Maybe even repair skills depending on what kind of tank you are playing. Some tanks have greater camouflage potential than others. You can check them out when you go to your comparisons list. Go to your compare list, you can check them out, set your tanks up, train them up to whatever skills you want. Set them up similarly in terms of crew skills and equipment, and then check out their stats. How fast do they reload? Check all these things out before you decide where you want to spend your credits on training skills and whatever. If you look at this concealment on my tanks, you can see that the T44-100 has exceptionally good camouflage skills, 36% for a medium tank, including the Tech 3 T44, also 36%, a lot better than other medium tanks, a lot better than the Progetto, Pershing, Revolurise, or the FV4202. So I need to consider putting camouflage skills on my T44-100 as well, because this tank truly benefits from this skill. So maybe I would, once I reach the third skill, I might want to retrain my skills, all my tanks crew skills for gold, retrain them and turn on the BIA first. This BIA I will put immediately, followed by repeat the same process again, gun handling skills or repair skills, or a combination of concealment skills. So you need to think carefully. Every tank has a different purpose, so you need to think carefully about what kind of skills you want to put ahead of others. Alternatively, again, as I said, if you have credits, go ahead and use crew books to boost your skills up to 3 or 4 skills, and immediately you're going to have a very skilled crew for your tank. Now let's move on to the equipment skills. Equipment for your medium tanks, the standard equipment, again, just like the heavy tanks, is going to be vertical stabilizers, rammers, and optics. Now obviously there's going to be some variations. Some people prefer using vents. Obviously you're going to use vents on tanks like the Bad Chat, because the Bad Chat does not take any gun rammers that improve your loading time. So you can use vents instead of the gun rammers. For example, if you can put gun rammers in your medium tank, you always want to put gun rammers, because you need that reload time. Most of the even the fastest reloads are around 5-6 seconds. So a sixth of a second increase in your reload speed would actually mean that you can dogfight a little bit quicker, reload a little bit faster. Your opponent is probably going to have the same skills, so he's going to be reloading quite fast as well. And because these tanks are going to be doing a lot of dogfights, a lot of frontals, a lot of flanking maneuvers, a lot of tracking maneuvers, you need them to reload fast. So rammers are a real good viable option. You really need them to work for you. Now let me explain about events again. I see a lot of people being advised to use events as their second skill or first skill. I don't advise this, because vents work this way. They provide 5% bonus to your first skill, your main skills, which is this one. So if you're 100% skill, you're going to be boosted by another 5% of bonuses. from here 5%, and then on top of that you're going to have non-specific skill bonus as well, but that makes up less than 5%, so it works out to be something like 2% on your 2% on your main skills. But remember, vents work on each and every one of these skills, so it's going to provide a 2.5% bonus on every one of these skills that you already have. So in your new crew example, you don't have a lot of skills in your new crew because you have 1 or 2 skills. So vents do not benefit a lot on tanks which have very new crew. If that makes sense to you, it benefits a lot on crews that have like 3, 4, 5 skills. Then maybe you want to use vents because they're going to benefit each and every one of those skills and enhance those secondary skills of all your crew. So you're going to have like 5% to your primary skill and another like maybe 2%, 2.5% bonus on your secondary, each and every one of your secondary skills. So remember that vents work well for crews that have a lot of skills. They work not as they still work, but they work not as to their maximum potential on crews that have 0 skills or just 1 skill. So that's how you're going to be using vents to your advantage. Now, have I covered everything about skills and yes, I have skills and equipment. Now let's make this video cover the light tanks and SPGs and TDs as well. The same applies for light tanks as well. The same thought as your heavy tanks, as your medium tanks, except this time your first skill you want to use camo on your light tanks, because camo is one of the features that is the most important features of light tanks. The biggest advantage of light tanks is camo. So your first skill is always going to be camouflage skills. Improve your camouflage first to 100%. Your second skill, maybe you want to increase your repair skills or gun handling skills if you want. And then in your third skill, retrain your crew with gold or with credits and put in your BIA skill for all your crew and repeat the same process again with camouflage as your second skill, and then gun handling and repair skills for your third skill. Alternatively, again, use crew books, spend 6 million credits and boost up your skill to 2.5 skills immediately for your light tanks, and that would be fantastic. Now, like I was saying, I think I did this in the last heavy tank video where I showed you my light tanks do not have any kind of gun rammers. Instead of having gun rammers, I put vents on this tank in particular, because normally you would want to use gun rammers on even light tanks because you want them to reload quickly. But in this particular instance, this T50 reloads in 2.02 seconds. Gun rammers increase your rate by 10%. So which means if I use gun rammer on this tank, it would only speed up my reload by 0.20 seconds. 0.20 seconds is just a very tiny fraction. I might as well remove those gun rammers and instead use vents and increase my overall skills on my crew and the whatever secondary skills that they have. It will help them to aim a little bit faster, maybe camouflage a little bit better. So I feel that I don't need that 0.20 seconds quicker reload. Instead, I will benefit my entire crew with vents in this tank. So that's how light tanks work. It's very simple, it's very straightforward. You notice I run mostly food in all my tanks, whatever tanks they are. Food helps a lot as well with your crew skills and improvement of crew performance. So I use that instead of firefighting. You can use firefighting directives for your crew. You can use experienced firefighters, turn that on, and that works as a firefighting for all your crew. But you know, I feel that tanks seldom catch on fire nowadays. It is worth to carry food instead of firefighting. So of course there is the exception. Some tanks do tend to burn a lot more than other tanks then you would need to use firefighting crew, firefighting skill instead of food. But in any case, you can still use firefighting directives here, and that will take care of your firefighting crew. You can forget about firefighting and just use directives, because these directives you get free anyway. If you play every day, you get missions and these rewards. I don't even buy any of these, and I get these in my garage as rewards, and somehow I have managed to collect 500 of them, as you can see, just for free, 600 of them for free. So use them to train, use them instead of training your crew for firefighting skills, because your tank catches on fire not very often anyway. So if you get on fire, it's okay, and if you have firefighting directives, it's going to take care of it anyway. So there you go, that's your light tank. Now tank destroyers, another different ballpark. You are training camouflage again. If you want to hide in the bush and fap and snipe people from the back, that's what tank destroyers do. And equipment wise, you want to improve your aim time with gun laying drive, and your view range, improve your view range with binocular telescope instead of optics, because you're going to be stationary for a majority of the time. Binocular telescopes actually give you extended vision, 25% view range when you're stationary. It takes 2 seconds or 3 seconds before it activates when you're stationary. So since you're stationary a lot, this is going to be a lot better than optics. But of course, you can use a combination of optics and binocular telescope if you want, but you're gonna have to forgo one of these, gun rammer or gun laying drive. That's up to you. That's your prerogative. Some pros do that, some pros don't. I'm not here to judge you. Play it any way you want, but the standard combination of equipment is going to be rammers to increase your reload time, your DPM. Gun laying drive, it's going to help you snipe from a distance to zoom in to your target a little bit quicker, and binocular telescope, that's going to help you aim a lot quicker for that. Give you a longer view range for that. Now in my Scorpion, you can see I'm not using binocular telescope. Instead, I'm using optics. Why? Because I feel that I move around a lot in my Scorpion. I play it more like like a lousy medium tank, you could say. So even if you're in a lousy medium tank, you really want to use optics instead of binocular telescope, because you're moving around a lot, and because binocular telescope only turns on 3 seconds after you're stationary. I prefer to use optics and just get that 10% extra view range all the time, because I'm moving around in my tank destroyer a lot. Now let's move on to the next the last tank the last tank is SPGs. So we're going to talk a little bit about SPGs. SPGs is very straightforward. If you're training them for the first time, forget about Sixth Sense. You don't even need Sixth Sense in your SPG crews. I don't even have Sixth Sense in this one. I think this is my tier 10 SPG. Forget about Sixth Sense. You are so far behind the map. If you get spotted, you're gonna die anyway. So forget about Sixth Sense. You don't need it. What you need to train is BIA. That will help you with zooming into your aim time, because SPGs take forever to aim, right? This is going to help you a lot to aim. So remember, use SPGs. When you use SPGs, train your BIA, use vents if you can use vents. If you have an open top SPG and can't use vents, that's too bad. Maybe you can throw in a camo net instead. Like this is an open top SPG, so I have GLD, I have BIA for my crew, I have rammers. Of course, you definitely need rammers because they take so long to reload. A 10% increase in reload time is going to help a lot, because it reloads 39 seconds, right? So basically, when I use rammers, it's going to help my reload time by 4 seconds for that 10%. So that makes a lot of difference. So you definitely 100% need rammers. Gun laying drive to help you zoom in, because they take so long to aim. And if this can't take venting system, because it is an open top tank, you will throw a camo net in there to help you with your concealment. Throw in food there, because food is going to help you It's going to help you aim better, help your crew perform a little bit better. You don't need firefighting skills. If you're going to get spotted, you're going to die anyway. So just, you know, forget about those kind of unnecessary things. Throw in food instead to help you aim a little bit better, get your DPM up there, and help your crew perform better. So that covers everything. The rest of the tech tree: medium tanks, light tanks, tank destroyers, and SPGs. I hope you enjoyed this series. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye.